Getting money since I was a jit. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
Two touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. A look now at the defensive starting lineup for the 49ers. It's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league.
That was a nice play right there, but overall this season, it's been an absolute disaster. A total lack of communication on the back end. They need a leader who can put this team, this unit, on his shoulder pads and carry them to the right spots.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
21. Here we go.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
11.
Now Mostert. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go, here we go. Wait, 80! 50, Mike, 50! Oh, you got deep? 11. Check 25.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
$21.
Mike's 50.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you're throwing so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This is fielded at the goal line. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Wilson, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Wilson. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Philip Dorsett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Good bounce-back drive right there. Through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce-back. Tremendous poise. Confidence never lost. And obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Mostert. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling could lead to no yards gained.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From the 22, Wilson on the catch. It's Jarius Wright. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
What? Check right 54. Right 54. Check down.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A gain of 3, second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On third down, Wilson leaves it for Penny. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Here we go.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
This is Mostert. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I got one.
Now Garoppolo. Open man is Samuel, complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Just like that. Slam.
Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Hey, gun.
Here's Mostert. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call a no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I'm coming. Check. Under 10. 10.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks' 36.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Now they'll run it on the toss. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go. 180! Come, baby. Woo! 12, fellas, here we go.
Watch twins.
1, Omaha. Hey, Echo. Hey, Mike 50.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case,
here we go.
in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
I got you.
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. Let's go.
11.
It's going to be a long day.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away, maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check. Shift. Watch the shift. 21. Kill.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
2. Check 24.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Move. 4 down. Check. Hey, gun. Mike's 50. Come on, boy.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Screenplay, McKinnon. Past the 20. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. A huge play there on the screen pass. And even 40 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
21.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Here we go.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here.
Block. Here we go. Check.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Raheem Mostert, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
That time, a 6-play drive. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Open man is Gordon, complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. No gain, and it's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Here's Wilson to throw. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Philip Dorsett with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And his throw is incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Check safety, check safety.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. So a very tight first half. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. That good for 22 and a first down.
Now, the good thing for you, partner, is you're not as old as I am, okay? So back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, the right side of an offensive line was almost always your power side. Your bigger, stronger, physical guys. But on this play, they tossed it right and looked like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but that's not the case so much anymore, you're saying, with the bigger guys?
Not necessarily.
You find the best guys, plug them in on your O-line.
Right. As a general rule now, you're a lot more balanced on your offensive line. It might still lean towards your best pass blocker on the left side,
sure,
but not necessarily all the time.
The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
11.
And to give this time to the tailback. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Tighten up.
2nd down, this is Wilson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here we go.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down.
Wait.
51's the mic. Check pass. Check pass.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down.
65.
Rush in.
Garoppolo going to go on fourth down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. Fourth down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. They'll run it again with Penny. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Able to get this to Gordon. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Wilson now 12 of 16 thus far. It's first and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
On second and 11 now. Garoppolo. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Hey, alert! 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 Two!
On third and long, it's Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now it's Wilson. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, it's Penny. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Play action. Now Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Myers connects on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Wilson with a first down carry. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! Get in the right room.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Jim.
Hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
Watch the flood! Watch the flood! Watch the flood! Watch the flood!
Clock! 11.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Check.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Garoppolo now. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he...
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
White.
Safety green.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go play action now. Wilson. That's caught by Penny. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
His afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Throwing is Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Rashad Penny, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 5th touchdown now on the year. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 24.
11. Watch the whip.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Let's go.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Short throw to Disley. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Defensively, Jimmy Ward in on the stop. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Seahawks on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he finds Penny. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guy. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. Charles, I guess you have to give some credit to the fact that they rallied and made the tackle, didn't allow 2 points to go the other way there.
Find that silver lining, because what happened prior to that was not positive. Go for 2, fumble the football, give up a return, but you're exactly right. They did hustle and prevented a score going against them.
Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. 1st down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Check back, check back. 21. Here we go. 6. 54. Mike, 54. I smell fear in it.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
65.
Garoppolo again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. On 2nd and goal, Garoppolo nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now.
Here we go.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Thirteen.
Mike 50. Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day.
One, Omaha. Go.
Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
70 seconds remain. This will be an onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Penny on the counter. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they're getting with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
13.
Check. Lucky.
To throw is Garoppolo. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Seahawks, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin.